Hello and welcome to Verdictum. I'm Sheetal June and you're watching today's legal news where we update you with the latest legal developments across the country. Starting with the headlines. Supreme Court asserts zero tolerance policy on strike by lawyers, calls it unacceptable. Supreme Court questions Bulldozer Justice to lay down pan-India norms for due process. Delhi High Court rules in favor of Microsoft Sumitomo over tax department's lapses. Brazil's Supreme Court upholds ban on Elon Musk's X unanimously. Now the news in detail. The Supreme Court, in a stern warning, has condemned strikes by lawyers, asserting that abstention from work undermines the justice delivery system and that lawyers who participate in such actions are unworthy of continuing in the legal profession. The court's rebuke was directed at the Faizabad Bar Association, which reportedly abstained from work for 64 out of 130 days between November 2023 to April 2024. A division bench of Justice Surya Kant and Justice Ujjal Bhuyan expressed deep concern while disapproving of such actions. They abstained from work for 66 days out of 134 days. Do they have any right to hold the license of the Bar Association? They must remember they are a part of the system. They are trying to browbeat the High Court and District Judge. We are warning them and all the bar councils in the country. We are putting them on notice, the bench remarked. The court in its order mandated that the Bar Association obtain an undertaking from all its members pledging that they would never resort to strike again. The court also declined to grant relief despite the association's plea for a stay on the High Court's order that set up a panel of lawyers to take over the Bar Association's affairs and get the elections to its governing council held by December 2024. The High Court also said that the call for strike by the bar body would lead to registration of a suo motu contempt case against the association. The bench underscored the impact of such strikes on the broader justice system, underscoring that litigants and witnesses often cross significant financial and logistical barriers only to find that lawyers are not allowing courts to function. Disapproving of the trend of Bulldozer Justice, the Supreme Court has questioned how a house can be demolished just because it belongs to an accused or even a convict in a criminal case. Even if he is a convict, still it cannot be done without following the procedure as prescribed by law, a bench of Justice B.R. Gawai and Justice K.V. Vishwanathan said. The court also proposed a set of pan-India guidelines to be followed before demolishing homes. Hearing a batch of pleas against bulldozer or demolition action often undertaken by the authorities against the houses of those accused of serious crimes, the court said property cannot be demolished even if the person is a convict. The court, however, clarified it will not protect any illegal structure obstructing public roads. In a significant relief for Indian arms of the multinational corporations such as Sumitomo Corp, Microsoft Corp and JCB, the Delhi High Court has quashed final tax assessment orders that were passed without the issuance of draft assessment orders as envisaged in the Income Tax Act. Section 144C of the Act says that an assessing officer must issue a draft assessment order before a final assessment can be passed. This provision allows the taxpayer to mull over the assessment order and take corrective measures before a final order is passed. Citing previous rulings, the High Court held that a failure to frame a draft assessment order would clearly be violative of the mandatory prescriptions of Section 144C, and the final order of assessment framed in violation thereof is to be viewed as a nullity. The court has said that Section 144C erects a special mechanism of assessment in respect of eligible taxpayers in as much as it essentially entails two separate components coming together to form a composite assessment of the taxpayers. The court said so because under Section 144C, the assessing officers and the transfer pricing officers work in tandem to file an assessment order. All 5 judges on a Supreme Court panel have voted to uphold a ban on Elon Musk's X social media platform in Brazil. The move backs the decision by Justice Alexandre de Moraes, one of the 5 judges, to shut down X in Brazil. The ban was ordered by Moraes after the company missed a court-imposed deadline to name a legal representative in the South American country. Moraes' original order, which was released on Friday, had called Musk an outlaw, which intended to allow the massive spread of disinformation, hate speech, and attacks on the democratic rule of law, violating the free choice of the electorate by keeping voters away from real and accurate information. That was all on today's legal news. Thank you and keep watching Verdictum. Subscribe to our channel and download the Verdictum app on iOS and Android devices for the latest legal updates.